Flosstube, I'm Annie and I'm the Proper Stitcher, and welcome to episode number 44. If this is your first time joining us, welcome. Thank you so much for stopping by today. And if you are returning, thank you so much for your continued support, for your comments, for subscribing, all the wonderful things that you do for me. I really do appreciate you so much. If you haven't done so already, please go ahead and subscribe to my channel and ring the bell. You'll get notifications of when I upload new videos, and sometimes those videos are also tutorials. So this is a channel where I like to talk about cross stitch, some quilting, and hopefully give you some inspiration to fully finish your projects without the fear of them being perfect. So let's jump right into this week's video. I am so sorry I didn't come to you yesterday. Today is Friday. I typically post my videos on Thursdays. But I was having some technical difficulties yesterday and had to redo everything. So here we are Friday afternoon, and so now you'll have a video for the weekend. So thanks for your patience with that. Wanted to give y'all some updates. As I mentioned last week, my sister Lisa was getting her scans back on Tuesday, and she did. My sister Lisa was diagnosed with lung cancer a year ago. And had to go through chemotherapy, autoimmune therapy, and a year full of just lots of treatments and appointments. And she got her scans back on Tuesday, and they are clear. So prayers of thanksgiving. Thank you all so much for your prayers for her. She's not out of the woods yet. She still has to go for regular scans, and she's still going through immunotherapy. They're going to do another set of scans in May. So far, so good. And we are just over the moon, so excited, so happy, and just thrilled with these results. So thank you so much for your prayers for my sister. Been a busy week in this area. My daughter and I were supposed to fly to Michigan yesterday on Thursday for a trip where she's going to be attending college next year. And it was for a wonderful weekend opportunity for her for a competition of sorts to get additional scholarship dollars. And unfortunately, that trip was canceled due to the major storm that hit the Midwest and southern Michigan. And so our trip was canceled. So my week was leading up to trying to prepare to go out of town, and then we got the news that our trip was canceled. So she is home this weekend working on material. Instead of them rescheduling, it's just sort of a virtual version of the weekend that they were going to attend on campus. So I am here this weekend, but our trip has been rescheduled for a modified version of that weekend, more of a tour of the campus and a couple of overnight trips, stays for her, and that's going to be next weekend. So my video next week I will film on Wednesday, but I'll still upload it on Thursday. So just hopefully we will have good weather. All of you who have been affected by the winter storms, the frigid temperatures, the record snowfall, I hope you're all safe and warm, and hopefully you had some good stitchy time, and that the temperatures are starting to rise in your area so that you can dig your way out of the snow. But other than that, let's see what else has happened this week. My son got his driver's license today. I took him this morning to get his driver's license, so he's very excited about that. And we're just ready for the weekend. It's very cold here. We did not get any of the snow. We just got cold rain. We got not the cold temperatures, but we got cold temperatures and rain. And so, that's not fun, but I'm glad it's the weekend and everybody in my house is healthy. Nobody is sick. And I'm just looking for a weekend of just catching up on everything. So hopefully you are doing well yourself. So I think you've heard me talk about this. I am assisting my friend Kim Gavlik with her retreat this summer. It is Christmas in July with the housewives. Registration was already open. They are on a waiting list. If you're interested, she's still taking and adding to that waiting list. I do believe it is a full waiting list though, but things change and things happen. I know that session 2, I think there's just one person on that waiting list. So you are welcome to go to her Facebook page at Stitch Etc. I'll link it below if you'd like to get a little bit more information about that. I don't know don't know how open that is, but there will be other retreats that she will host. So always good to be on that page so you can get first information from her. But I will be helping her with that retreat again, and that will be this summer. That's in July. So that is going to be super excited. Priscilla and Chelsea with Stitching with the Housewives, they are the guest designers, and it's just going to be so much fun. A Christmas in July theme is just always fun. So it is already February. So it's hard to believe that we've already been 1 month into this year. And here is my January book of days. So I managed to stitch pretty much every day except one day in the month of January. And that was for my mother-in-law's funeral, which was January the 8th. But I stitched every day in the month of January. And I am looking for some new stickers for my book of days. This is the 2022 Needlework Enthusiast Book of Days from Needlework Press. These are still available. Your local LNS should have them. You can also get them from The Attic, which is in Arizona. Lots of Etsy shops have it if your local needlework shop does not have it. So by January, I stitched my way through, and now it's time to focus on February. So February this year is a short month, so hopefully I can get some good stitching time in. So what I thought we would go through today is I'm going to show you just 2 previous finishes. I did not have any finishes this week. I have shown y'all this on my bookshelf when I did a bookshelf tour, but I wanted to show it to you up close. This is a free pattern from DMC. The DMC Floss has a website, and they have free patterns. I don't know. People have told me that they cannot find this on the DMC website anymore, but you can Google DMC Alphabet Heart, and you will probably be able to find this free pattern somewhere online. I just love it. I love the way the A is curved into the heart, and it's just finished with a soft pink fabric with a key at the bottom. Just so sweet. I do not remember what floss I used. It is an over-dyed floss. It looks like Clay Pot from Classic Colorworks. It's more of a mauve color, and this is a pink linen, 32 count pink linen. So this was a fun stitch. I stitched this about 5 years ago, so that's why I don't remember much about it. But this is DMC. It is a free pattern that I got off of their website. And then my friend Kay Reese, who I love so much, she gave this to me a couple of years ago for a Valentine's gift. This is a free design from Hands On Design. And she finished it into this adorable little heart pillow. She cut out these little daisies out of white felt, and she attached red heart buttons for the center of the flower. And she put a little piece of black and white twine at the top. Just a cute little finish. She is a wonderful quilter, so I'm sure that this is a quilter's touch that she's added to it. And then she just cut the back and stuffed it and then sewed it up. So that's an easy way if you don't want to do a stitch on the side. You can always cut the back of a pillow and stuff it, and you can either patch it with hide it with like another piece of fabric or felt with a button on it or some pins, or just stitch it like she did. Just stitch up the back. So isn't that just adorable? Just so many cute free patterns available. So those are 2 free patterns. Lots of designers, if you join their blogs, if you sign up for their newsletters, if you check their websites periodically, they are always so generous. There are so many generous designers out there that offer free designs. There are also a lot of free designs that are a part of patterns that you purchase or you download. I know Priscilla Blaine does that with Stitching with the Housewives. She will attach oftentimes a free little pattern to go with some of the PDFs that you can purchase from her site. So be on the lookout for those. You know, if you're on a budget, if you're wanting to continue, or especially for a holiday like Valentine's Day, you don't want to do a lot of things, but you want to stitch maybe and fill a double, you can find a lot of free patterns online. I know Not Forgotten Farms has a whole section. Primitive Hair has a section of freebie patterns. Priscilla does, DMC does, I believe Luminous Fiber Arts does. So just be on the lookout for those. It's just a great way to build your stash and to have a quick fix if you can't get out and get to a store, but you can print something or find a free pattern online. So just be on the lookout for those. So I also wanted to go into my little bitty haul that I had this week. It was a quiet week in my house for haul. I think I'm just waiting on all the new spring things to come out. So very quiet week for haul, but I did get a few things. I mentioned to you all last month that I joined the Fat Quarter Shop Aurifil Color Pack Floss of the Month. So the winter pack came out. This is called Winter Frost Color Pack. And here are the colors. So it's 2 shades of blue, one really pretty kind of a taupey gold, and then a cream, like a winter white. I have never stitched with the Aurifil floss, and I'm about to start this weekend with the new Heartfelt Stitch Along, but I thought this would be a great subscription to fill up to start my collection and start my stash. They have a lot of floss subscriptions that you can join, and a lot of other shops do this too. If they have the Classic Color Works floss of the months, there are some people that do monthly linen subscriptions or fabric subscriptions. These are just great subscriptions to help you build your stash and have someone else select, sort of like a private or personal shopper for you. I have really been into that this past year, building up my linen stash, building up my floss stash, because it's so wonderful when you want to start something new, you can go and pull from your stash or find something close to the color to fill the pattern and to start a project pretty much immediately. So that's been sort of a goal of mine, is to build those stashes. So that's what this is about for me, because I've never used these before. And it's always fun to get something, a little treat in the mail once a month. So that is the Aurifil Color Pack from Fat Quarter Shop. I'll link it below. I'll also link their Classic Color Works club below. I know Color and Cotton has a monthly subscription. Just lots of fabric companies do. So just be on the lookout for those too. I did get some floss, nothing exciting, but I got some floss to do some other designs that I'm wanting to stitch. So these are all Classic Color Works that I've purchased. And I did get one more fabric project bag. This is from Goose, Denise from Goose. And this is an adorable little project bag with a girl and her dog, and she is building a snowman. I just love this bag. I think it's perfect for winter, going into spring, and then for Valentine's Day with the pink. And one last thing I did get some charms. I'm going to do some Valentine's Day scissor fobs, and I thought that with that, when I make those, I will do a blog post for a picture by picture. I did do a video tutorial. I'll link it below or add it to the end of this video on how to make scissor fobs. I made some for Christmas, but I never did get around to doing that blog post with photos of step-by-step. So I thought I would do that for Valentine's Day. So I got some little Valentine's Day charms. These are little envelopes, and they're so tiny, I don't think I could show you. And then on the other side, one side says made with love, and it has a little stamp. Here we go. And then it has a little envelope with a heart on it. So I will show you those in more detail on my blog and with photos, because they're so tiny. I don't think I could hold it up for you to see. So those are all my whips and my little bitty haul. This is probably going to be the shortest video in history for me. But I wanted to just make sure that I went over everything with you. I do have some exciting news. Today is the start, today being Friday. Gosh, what is today? February the 4th. So today is the start of the Heartfelt charity stitch along with the Fat Quarter Shop. So this is, let me get to that page. This is the stitch along. It's Heartfelt Stitch Along with the Fat Quarter Shop. this is a stitch along that they do every year, and it is to raise money for the Make-A-Wish Foundation. And today is the beginning of that stitch along. The pattern is free. I haven't downloaded it yet, but the pattern is free. They just ask for you to make a donation to the Make-A-Wish Foundation. The goal, they want to try to raise $100,000. Fat Quarter Shop is donating $20,000. Moda Fabrics is donating $10,000. So from the beginning, they already had a $30,000 donation to the Make-A-Wish Foundation. So their goal is $100,000. The end of the charity is at the end of August, or the beginning of August. So let me go over all of that with you. And how this stitch along works is it's a free PDF download. You can have the choice of using DMC. You have the choice of using any fabric you want. They have everything from Aida to even weave to linen. I chose 14 count Aida, and this is the pale gray gingham. And from a distance, you can see the pale gray gingham, but once you start stitching on it, the gingham sort of goes further in the background. You don't see it as much. It just gives it a little bit of dimension, but I love this. This is from Fabric Flair. So it's 14 count Aida. You have the choice of, I think, 14 count, 16 count, 28 count, even weave, and then so on. But you get to choose your fabric, you get to choose your floss. They have divided up the pattern so they can chunk it out for you where it's done by the end of August. So the first one, and I'll insert some photos, the first one is the border. I decided to go with the Aurifil floss, so this will be my first time. It comes in this box, all the Aurifil floss, and then you can get this adorable magnetic box to put either all the DMC, you have the choice of DMC or the Aurifil, the DMC floss or the Aurifil. And so I put all the Aurifil, and I cannot wait to try this. So the pattern is Heartfelt Stitch Along. It's from It's So Emma. The start date is today. And as I said, I chose the 14 count Aida. I'm excited to get this one started. And I'm excited to do anything for a good cause. You can also get the big bag. They're doing a quilt along with this as well. So this bag can be for quilting materials or supplies, or it can be for all of your cross stitch. So I hope you join us in that stitch along. And it's the hashtag, if you choose to look it up on Fat Quarter Shop or any other, lots of floss tubers are doing it. A lot of people are joining in. The hashtag for it is hashtag Heartfelt Stitch Along. So pretty. Priscilla Blaine with Stitching with the Housewives, she did the finishing for it, and it's beautiful. It's on a beautiful, as you can see, I showed the photos. It's on a beautiful chalkboard with some flowers around it. It's just really sweet and really pretty. So moving on to my other whips that I have. Because I was planning on going out of town and being by myself for a couple of days while my daughter was at school, her school she's attending, I was looking forward to just being hunkered down in the little inn where I like to stay and taking my cross stitch with me and having some time to really stitch this weekend. I didn't do as much stitching in the beginning because I was preparing for a trip, taking her shopping, trying to get everything she needed. And then when all of that was canceled, I was like, oh, I didn't stitch as much as I wanted to. That's okay, because now we're ready for her to go next weekend. And instead of it all being this weekend, it'll be next week, and I'll be able to catch up on my cross stitching next weekend. So I did not get to stitch on my participation that I am doing with the Caterpillar cross stitch. I have decided I am stitching this design for a friend. Her name is Amy. She loves gnomes, and I'm stitching this for her. She may or may not see this, but I'm stitching it for her. But this was my progress. I am stitching this on the 14 count, no, excuse me, the 18 count Aida. And this is my start from last week I showed you. So this is a mystery stitch along. This is the first time I have participated in a mystery stitch along. The pattern is a PDF download. They send you the next month installment. Caterpillar Cross Stitch does. They'll email it to you every month. And when you order the kit, it comes to you pretty fast. They come from the UK, but very organized. You have your DMC floss on these organized cards, and your fabric, and you can also purchase the garden gnome to go with it. If you're interested in doing this stitch along, I have a discount code I can send you, and you are welcome to use that if you want to order it through Caterpillar Cross Stitch. So cute, so whimsical, and I know that Amy is going to love this because she loves those gnomes. So cute, so much fun. So that I did not get to work on this week. I was really going to save that for the flight because it's on Ada and I can see it a lot easier without having to use a magnifier, but I didn't go. So I will be able to do that this weekend. Hopefully get caught up on that one. My next one that I did work on, and I finished my January portion of it, is the Flea Market Baskets. This is from It's So Emma, Lori Holt as well. And this is hashtag Flea Market SAL if you choose to follow along on social media. But this is an adorable pattern. Let me show you the pattern first. I love these patterns. They're very thick cardstock color patterns, but this is Flea Market Baskets, and it is, I am stitching it on 25 count Lugana Cloud, and I'm using all the DMC. But the way that this is designed for this stitch along is it's chunked out and broken out to where each month it's very manageable. So this month it's just the center star for the month of January with that border. For the month of February, it's the flowers around that border and then the outer border, and then March is all the gingham. So they chunk it out so that it is not overwhelming. This is a year-long stitch along, so this is one that can easily be done by December. So here is my progress on it, and I just love the colors on this. So this is, and I have really enjoyed stitching on this Lugana 25 count Cloud. So this star is so pretty, and I'm going to come in a little bit so you can see it. So that's the star, and then the border around it. So sweet. I really do enjoy these colors and this design. So this is Flea Market Baskets if you are interested in doing that. I do have these organized on this big floss keeper that came with the kit. You can purchase the kit if that is something you wish to do. I am using all the DMC colors. And I love these mesh bags. Super, super easy to keep everything in it. This is so cute. Y'all ready for this? This is another, and I'm keeping everything in here. The only thing I'm not doing in the cross stitch journal is I'm not doing the time tracker. I know a lot of people like to know how many hours they stitched on something, and I'm worried that if I keep track of things like that, that I will just be overwhelmed with seeing, I just don't want to know. I don't want to see how long it took me to do each project. I don't want to be that scientific about it. Correct me if I'm wrong. Let me know what you like to do, but I just like to stitch. I don't want to know how long it took me. I don't mind knowing when I started and when I finished, because I know I'm not working on that project every day, but I don't want to know how many hours it took me to finish something. So that's the only part of the cross stitch journal I am not keeping up with. So this is the Vintage Housewife from It's So Emma. This is so cute. I love these colors. This is just right up my alley. I love vintage fabrics. I love vintage colors. I love all of these sorts of things. So this is Vintage Housewife by It's So Emma, Lori Holt. I am also stitching this on the Cloud Vintage Cloth, which is a 25 count Lugana. And for the month of February, for the month of January, it was just this first block. And the month of February is this block. So here is my January. And I did not do the back stitching. If you can see, The back stitching is the cord of the iron and the hook on the hanger, the coat hanger. I save all back stitching for last because I don't want to pull it with when I put it on a hoop or in a Q-snap. So this is Vintage Housewife. If you are following along, it's hashtag Vintage Housewife. All of the colors are DMC, and this is another year-long stitch along. So by the end of the year, this whole piece will be finished. And so cute, so cheerful. I love reds and aquas, blues, all those things. They also have the floss keeper. I just haven't put my floss on there yet. I'm too lazy. I need to do that. I just haven't done it yet. Another piece I did not touch this week, but I wanted to show you in case you missed it last week. Quaker Christmas. This is a stitch along I am doing with Artie the Vintage Stitcher. I guess this is Artie. This has turned into a year stitch along for us. It was going to be 6 months, but it looks like it's turning into a year. But this is Quaker Christmas from Bygone Stitches. Very pretty. I am stitching this on 36 count cream Edinburgh, and I am using the called for floss. I apologize. I did it again. The pieces I just showed you, I'm using 2 strands of floss over 2. Anything that's 32 count and below, I'm using 2 strands of floss over 2 threads of linen or fabric. This is 36 count, so I'm using 1 strand of floss over 2 for this one. And this I did not work on, but for those of you who missed last week, this is my progress. And I love how on 36 count, the 1 strand looks very, just very soft. And so I am working on one side and then I'm gonna go over. I just wanna make sure that my borders meet up. So on these colors, there's just 3 colors. It's Classic Colorworks, Balsam Fir, Cupid, and Ye Old Gold. And these are the colors. Most of the color is the Balsam Fir. So the way they pop on this cream is really pretty. I did start this one in June, and it's looking like I'll be lucky if I'm finished with it by June, but I do at least stitch on it usually a couple of times a week. But this week, like I said, my schedule got a little crazy. I did make some progress, not progress, but I did get to stitch a little bit on my floral motif sampler. Oh, I forgot. So I'm still not pronouncing Yolk's name right. She sent me a message. I need to listen to it over and over again. She's so sweet and so patient. She's like, Annie, you're so close. You're so close. Just, you're not there yet. So I'm still working on her name. I guess, I don't know. I don't know if it's the Southern in me. I don't know if it's just a difficult English, Dutch to English translation. But I will get it and I will share it with you, and we will all have a big celebration when I get her name right. I'm so sorry. Okay, so this is what Yolk and I are stitching. This is Floral Motif from the Scarlet House. And this is so much fun. This is one of those patterns where if you don't want to stitch the whole piece, you can pull out little motifs and stitch little presents. And I'll show you what I mean in a minute. This, if you would like to join us, we are using the hashtag for this one, Floral Motif Sal with Yolk and Annie, and I'll put that below. And Yolk spells her name J-O-K-E. And this is the pattern. I'm stitching this on Picture This Plus Mallow. It's 40 count. I am using 1 strand over 2. And I worked a little bit more on my border, and I worked on this motif here and these motifs here. So for instance, if you're just wanting to stitch a little needle book here and just use one of these little motifs, you can make a sweet little gift for someone. But I love this fabric. This is Picture This Plus Mallow. It has a nice yellow modeling on it. Perfect for so many different designs. And the way the 40 count is on this, it just makes everything look so detailed. Very, very beautiful. It just makes each little motif have its own personality, and they stand, like each little motif is its own little work of art. I really do like this a lot. It would be beautiful on any count of fabric. It would work on Aida. It would work on 28 count, 32 count. It's just such a sweet stitch. The Scarlet House floral motif. I am using all of the Called For Gentle Arts fabric flosses, but there is a DMC conversion. And what I have found, yes, there is quite a bit of some of these colors. There's some over-dyed to it, but this is just as beautiful in the DMCs. And here are the colors. Let me do it this way. I have seen this stitched in DMC, and it is really pretty. But here are the colors. So these colors are so pretty, and each little motif is going to just bring those colors to life. It's just so pretty. I just can't stitch it any faster than I am. I don't know if it's because it's 40 count. I don't know if it's because each one is so detailed, and I want to make sure I'm counting the right distances. I've had to rip out a few of them because I did not count. Counting is hard. It really is hard for me, especially on the smaller count. I have to wear my readers. I have to use a magnifying mirror, lamp, magnifying glass, and my lamp. So I just can't see it, but it's so pretty and so much fun. And I love having each little motif finish. It's like a little small finish that I get to celebrate. So it's fun. Excuse me. Okay, so my other piece that I did not get to touch this week, but it is beautiful. I'm probably going to work on it this weekend since I didn't work on it this week, is my other stitch along with yoke. I'm sorry, yoke. It's the Assemblery IBG. And I am stitching this on 45 count Jersey Cream from Legacy Linen. And I showed you last week, but just in case you missed it, I want to show you again. So this is my start, and I still have that little piece of thread there. And it is so pretty and so delicate. I'm using one strand over 2. The border is over 3. This is a fun stitch along we're doing. You're welcome to join us. This one I will link below where you can purchase this. This is the company, and it's out of Canada. And this is the title of the pattern. It's IBG 1859. So pretty. The color silk I'm using is the Northern Lights Silk Midnight. And this is sort of a black, dark navy, almost black. It looks more blue when I show it to you as one whole skein, but when I put it on here, it does look a little bit more blue-black. So pretty. This is my first time stitching on 45 count. This is my first time stitching anything with over 3. So this is definitely a challenge for me. And I'm enjoying that challenge. So not too many more. My next one it really was my focus piece this week. I want to get this finished because I really want to get it to the framers. This is Indigo Lane by Brenda Gervais with a needle and thread. And I started this one with Celeste from Celeste Creates, and I started this on December 29th. And this is the stitch I'm doing in honor of my mother-in-law. And this is my progress. And I want to take a second and let y'all look at that. So this is a beautiful design. I love the shades of blue I like the gray on that house, the bird, everything about it is so pretty. And it's not a very big piece. When this is finished, it will be 11 3/4 inches wide and 1 5/8 inches high. That's not right. That is for the box. For the, so sorry guys, for the actual framed piece, here we go. It's going to be 13 3/4 by 9 3/4. So what I love about this is this shade right here, this blue, that is Weeks Dye Works Deep Sea. This color up here, that is Banker's Gray, Gentle Arts Samplers, Banker's Gray. Isn't that just so pretty? The house is, what color is the house? And I'll tell y'all what I did. The house is actually DMC, but I think I didn't make any color changes, so it is a DMC color. Isn't that pretty, that tree? Okay, so let me tell you a couple of things I did. Because I was going back and forth between some projects this week. Some projects I only used 1 strand of floss because they were on 36 count or 40 count. And then this is on 32 count Country Mocha. I forgot to switch back to 2 strands. So I had to take out this whole side because I had that stitched over with 1 strand of floss. And so I was just so frustrated that I had to do all of that again. But having the 2 strands really makes that blue stand out. I mean, it needed to be done. And how I realized I did that is that when I went to stitch the top, I realized the top was a darker color than this. So if you're ever wondering why we say over 2 strands on a 32 count, you don't have to do that. It just gives that color more of a rich tone. So always try a little in the corner. You may like the coverage of 1 strand of floss versus 2, but I really liked the 2, especially in this blue. It just made that blue stand out a lot more. And one thing I learned about myself, and I don't know if y'all remember when I was stitching Summer at Cherry Hill from Brenda Gervais, and I was complaining about the tree. The tree was really giving me fits, and I was about ready to throw in the towel, and Yoke said, no, keep going, you got it. You're almost done. Well, this little bitty tree in this design I realized I just don't like stitching trees. I think I have a phobia when it comes to stitching trees, because what I did is I did everything I could except for filling in the grass to avoid getting to this tree. I didn't want to stitch the tree, but it's not that bad because once I started stitching, but I did have to rip it out. I was stitching this last night. My daughter and I were watching, we started watching Gilmore Girls, and it's a show we never watched. So we started watching it, and I was too busy watching, and I got one branch mixed up with another, and I had to rip it all out. I had to rip out about 35 minutes worth of stitching and redo it. But I have all of the tree done. I just need to go in and add the leaves, the flowers, and then do the grass. And Celeste has already done the corn husk grass, and she says it's really pretty with it. So I know last week I mentioned, I don't know if I'm going to change that color, but she said it's really pretty. So these are all the called for colors. It's a combination of Weeks, Classic Color Works, and Gentle Arts, and some DMC. So it has quite a lengthy color list, but they're so pretty when they're all together. So that is my Indigo Lane. Hopefully I'll have that done soon because I really, really want to take it to the framers. It's one that I'm going to have professionally framed because it is a special piece that's for my family. So my Tomato Tuesday, I didn't get to stitch much on it this week, but because I was working on Indigo Lane. But this is my Tomato Tuesday. This is Queen of the Needle from Brenda Gervais. No trees in this one, but her dress is so pretty. I love this one. Here, I just worked a little bit on her dress. I am stitching this on 32 count purled barley. I am using the called for colors. I started this one back in October for Tomato Tuesdays, and I just put it aside when it came time to start stitching some Christmas. So I pulled it back out. I am using all of the called for colors, beautiful colors, and I'm using 2 strands over 2, but these are the colors, and look at how I love this red. I've said it before, chili pepper is the perfect shade of red for tomatoes. So pretty, all these colors. The blue for her dress on this one is Jaybird by Weeks Dye Works, and that's the color for her dress. Such a pretty color blue. So this will be fun, and I will probably finish this into a pillow, but it's a nice little size. I really do like this one. So that is Queen of the Needle. It has a little puppy, has everything we like, right? It has tomatoes, it has puppies, it has blue. So that is my Tomato Tuesday design that I'm working on right now. And I had that piece of pearl barley linen in my stash. So I don't know where it came from. I don't know. It was the perfect size. It was already cut too. And then I had a little impulse start this week. I wanted to stitch another Valentine's Day. After I finished my JBW French Country and More, I have it on my shelf. I showed y'all how I finished it on the Stitch Etc. board. I wanted to start another JBW design. So this is what I picked. This is Alphabet Hearts from JBW Designs. She has, Judy Whitman, has these designs in so many different seasons. She even has a patriotic one, has one for Christmas, one for fall. So sweet with all these pinks, different shades of pink, different shades of green. So this is my start on Alphabet Hearts. Oh, let me get this out of here for you. I have a piece of string or floss. Okay. I am stitching this on 32 count Parisian neutral stripe by Fabric Flair. And I love this. This is, I started in the middle. So I have half the alphabet. This is the T over here to the C. These 2 colors here, you may not be able to see, the D and the E. Let me hold it back a little bit. This is also like the pale gray gingham I showed you on the Ada. When you start stitching on this stripe, the stripes sort of go into the background and you see more of the stitched piece. But when it's all done, it's going to look so nice. I've also seen this Fabric Flair stripe in a pale pink if you want to do a pale pink version of it. But I decided to go with how Judy has it stitched, which is on the Parisian stripes, the neutral stripes, excuse me. I did have to make some substitution in the colors, and when I get this finished, I'll share those with you. The only reason why I made the substitution was because I did not have the called for color, and I was too impatient to wait for me to get anything in the mail. So I went as close as I could and just pulled from my stash. But let me show you one more time. So this is Alphabet Hearts, JBW Designs, and I'm stitching it on 32 count Parisian neutral stripe from Fabric Flair. So much fun. Oh, and I just love that heart. Look at that with the little flowers inside. I love these colors together, but these are the colors I'm using so far. Just really fun colors. These are classic color works. Dandelion Stem is the green that I'm using. Secondhand Rose, Little Sprout is another shade of green. Rosy Glow and Strawberry Parfait are the ones I have right now. And let me show those to you. Aren't those fun? Just so happy and springy and so pretty. So Judy, another beautiful design. I absolutely love it. Hopefully I'll get this one done this next week too. So those are all of my whips for this week. I can't believe that that's it. That's all I have. So let's go over the winners from last week. And last week I asked you all to list either your unicorn chart that you have, which is a chart that is hard to find, right? A lot of people had a lot of different ones, and a lot that are on my list too. Everything from Blackbird designs to Mirabilias, just you name it, or where you like to spend your stitchy money. The purpose of that question is if you are looking for a new local needlework shop or somewhere to spend your stitchy money, go through the comments. There are so many recommendations of shops that you may not be aware of. That's why I like to ask that question. So read through the comments from last week and you'll get some ideas if you need that. So here are the giveaways from last week. Number 1 was from the Nebby Needle. Thank you, Bonnie. I appreciate you. This is Amazing Grace. This goes to Barbara Chase. Barbara Chase. Number 2 is Little House Needleworks All Dolled Up Strawberry House. This goes to Nora Verheyen, V-E-R-H-E-Y-E-N, Nora Verheyen. Number 3, courtesy of Fat Quarter Shop, is Flea Market Baskets. This goes to Debbie Morin, M-O-R-I-N. Number 4 and 5 are both from Judy Whitman from JBW Designs. This is Nana's Legacy. Number 4, Nana's Legacy. Number 5 is Sue Pasno. Sue Pasno, P-A-S-N-O. This is Seaside Series 3 from JBW Designs. And number 6 is the La-Di-Da Wed to Thee, a Family Tree. This goes to Sally D-I-E-H-M, Dyham. Sally Dyham, number 6. So if I called your name, please email me at theproperstitcher@gmail.com. Tell me what you won. Give me your address. I will get these in the mail to you. So for the giveaways going this next week, I do have a few things to remind you of. Please be a subscriber. Please like the video and comment below and leave me the number that you would like to be entered to win. Number 1, number 2, number 3, and so on. Please do not email me your entry. Please do not send me your entry on Instagram or on Facebook or any other way. Just in the comments below on this channel, on this video on YouTube. So here we go. So the question I'd like for you to answer this week, or just leave me a comment below, but the question I'd like for you to answer is, what is your favorite Valentine's candy? Or Valentine's treat? I absolutely love chocolate dipped strawberries. And we have a local chocolate store here. He is actually a chocolatier. He makes the chocolate, and we have known them for about 23 years. And it's a wonderful shop. You can look up their website online. It's called Bradley's. Knoxville Finest Chocolate. I'll link their shop below. But for Valentine's Day, they do fresh big strawberries, and they hand dip them and sell them in a box of half dozen, a dozen. You can get dark chocolate, white chocolate, milk chocolate, or you can mix it. But they are absolutely amazing. They are my favorite, and I look forward to them every year. It's my favorite, absolutely favorite. I love Valentine's Day. So what's your favorite treat or candy, Valentine's treat or candy, or if it's something you like to make? So just let me know about it below. Okay, here we go. Number 1 is from my stash. It is a Blackbird's Designs pattern, Savoir Faire. Number 2 is a Jardin Privé My Lady's Quaker. Number 2, a viewer sent this to me. That is number 2. Number 3 is from JBW, Judy Whitman. This is French Country Butterfly. Be so cute for a spring display. Number 4, also from Judy, JBW. This is French Country Umbrella. Okay. Number 5, courtesy of Fat Quarter Shop, is Farm Life. Farm Life. That's number 5. Number 6 is Vintage Housewife, whole pattern, and the needle minder. This is also courtesy of the Fat Quarter Shop. This is number 6. Sorry, this is number 6. You get both the needle minder and the pattern, number 6. Number 7 is from Bonnie with the Nebby needle. This is a Stitcher's wallet, and it says, "My needle and floss, they comfort me, for I am a stitcher." And in here, she has the directions on how to finish it into a needle book. That's number 7. Thank you, Bonnie. And number 8 is an Iowa Quaker sampler from Lucinda Frazier. I'm so sorry, guys. It's from Needlework Press. This is Lucinda Frazier, 1866. It's a sample, an Iowa Quaker sampler. Beautiful sampler. And it has the history of Lucinda Frazier on the back. This is number 8. So hopefully that will wrap things up for all of us today. So hopefully you all have a great weekend. And I will, like I said, I will record next Wednesday. So it's a little bit of a shorter week for me, but I'll record Wednesday, schedule the video to upload on Thursday. And until then, you all have a wonderful weekend. Stay warm, stay dry. Hopefully you get some stitching time in. And thank you so much. Don't hesitate to email me or leave any comments below if you have any questions. I'll be happy to answer those for you. Thanks and have a great week.